Hello and welcome to another Green Stuff World video. In this video we're going to be testing the new Maxx Darth, which is the blackest black in the world. And for this we're going to paint an OSL on this model, but we're going to do it without the airbrush. And if you have trouble painting OSLs, I'm going to show you a neat trick that you can use. All you need is the flashlight from your phone. We're going to turn the lights down and switch on the light on the phone. Using the light of the phone, we're going to point it at the miniature and find the angle that we want to paint. You can move the miniature closer to the light and get a stronger effect, or move it away. You can tilt the angle of the light so it comes from below or from the top. And once you've found the angle that you want to paint, all you have to do is use a second camera to take a picture. Then we can use this picture as reference as we paint. This way it's much easier to get a cool effect. So first off, I'm going to start by priming the miniature with matte black surface primer. I'm going to give it an even coat all over and let it dry. And once that is dry, I'm going to repeat the process with the Maxx Darth black. I give it a generous coat all over the miniature and wait for it to dry. Once the paint has dried, you can really see how dark and matte this paint really is. For the OSL, I'm just going to do a simple gradient from a dark grey to an almost white beige. And I start by putting on the palette the darkest grey. And now, using the picture as a reference, I'm going to paint all the areas that are lit on the picture, being careful to leave all the darkest shadows as they appear in the picture. In the areas where I reach the edge of the OSL, I do a stippling effect to gradient out the light. Okay, so once I've covered all the areas that are lit in the picture and I'm happy with where the shadows are placed, I move on to the lighter colours to carry on highlighting. But before moving on to the second highlight, I mix a bit of this highlight with the previous colour. This way the colour jump isn't too abrupt. This step is much easier because I already have all the highlight areas marked. So all I have to do is repaint them, but without covering them entirely. I'm always trying to leave a bit of the previous colour in the area where it meets the shadow. This way we'll achieve a nice colour gradient. Okay, now I'll repeat the same process as before, with a bit of the next highlight color added to the mix. And same as before, I highlight within the areas that we highlighted in the previous step, trying to be careful to not cover all the previous steps. As you can see, we're already achieving the effect. As you can see, the more we highlight with lighter colours, the more obvious is the effect. And having the light colours against the really dark black background really gives it the effect as if it was in total darkness. The final highlights are applied in a really small area, so as not to cover any of the previous colours. And now for the final detail, I painted some 3D printed flames and made a few rocks with some milliput to add a nice fireplace in front of the statue. Placing this fire on the spot where the light was shining from the phone will really make this OSL work. Right, this is how it looks like once we're all done. The dark shadows that this Maxx Darth paint gives is amazing, and it really feels like if it's in total darkness. And when we put it on top of the Maxx Darth fabric, the effect speaks for itself. Well, this is the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed the process and find this paint as interesting as I do. I'm already thinking about all the cool effects that I could be able to do with this paint. Write down in the comments any cool ideas you have for using this paint. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.